Hello and welcome. Tonight we are going to be playing for Matron Mother. Now this is a horror game by Velvetic Games, and it's a little different from what we've been playing before. A little bit about the game. Lizzy is a young girl living in a place called the Boarding, a run-down town that's walled away from the outside world. All who live here live to serve the mysterious Mother Matron, who everyone reveres as their own parent and leader. The Matron Mother tasks Lizzy and two boys named Pux and Rich to explore the Crepuscule which lies underneath. Few have ever returned, and the ones that have are changed forever into blubbering wrecks. With their hearts full of trepidation, the three descend into the depths. You take control of Lizzy. Using your wits and quick thinking, you must try to guide her through the dangers awaiting within the Crepuscule. Can you survive? Can you uncover the secrets of the Boarding and the Mother Matron? Now, for the features of this game: a terrifying narrative with a dark mystery to unravel, haunting monochrome-style visuals, and disturbingly fleshy monsters. The game is meant to be 2 to 4 hours in length, around 20,000 words, partial voice acting, intense life or death situations, and an original soundtrack. So, I'm not sure on the actual content warning of this, but I'm assuming, being a horror game, that if you are not okay with horror elements, to not watch this one. But if you are, then let's have some fun. I think I'm probably gonna die a lot. So, let's get started. I have waited until night to start this. It's currently 11 p.m. All the lights are off in my room. It's pitch black outside, so I'm vibing to this. This music is really atmospheric as well, so let's see how we go. Here we go, a content warning. This game contains already screwing up my words. This game contains graphic content that is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Player discretion is advised. The Mother Matron loves you and considers your health incredibly important. Ugh, what is that sound? Okay, I need to make sure that you can hear this sound. So I'm going to turn the sound up and make sure the music's a bit down again. Where am I? I feel so strange. Lost, almost. I think I've forgotten who I am. I have a name, I'm pretty sure, but when I try to grasp it, it's like I'm reaching for smoke. The claws of the hands in my brain just pass right through nothing, and I'm left clueless. What I do know, I know I exist. I know I breathe. I know this room is disgustingly warm despite its cold, cold walls. I know that horrible wet sound is driving me mad. I know red blood flows through my veins. I know my heart pumps blood beat by beat. I know my bladder contains piss. I know my intestines pipe freshly made shit out of my body daily. Okay, starting up fresh. But not much else. I don't remember what distinguishes me from any other sack of meat. I rack my brain. I reach back as far as my mental arm can reach, underneath the old shelf full of baggage that writhes unpleasantly and glares at me despite having no eyes that I can perceive. The weight of the shelf is crushing my arm. My brain would rather I didn't bring this all back up, but I know I have to. I have to. I must. Finally! My mental hand clasps around something, a small and soft object that compresses under my fingers. Oh! That was a sound. I pull my arm out from under the shelf, the sharp corners of it cutting into the top of my arm and drawing blood. The wound isn't deep, but it hurts. A punishment for trying to probe into places that I should avoid. I look to the object. It's a memory. One that appears small and faint, but it's a start. A pathway. Yes, I'm starting to remember now. Lizzy, that's it. That's my name. My name is Lizzy. Nice to meet you. There's still gaps. I have to retrace my steps. Would you care to listen to me? Help me pick up the pieces? It's easier to live through a memory again when you can share it with someone. You'll listen, won't you? Good, good. I'll take it from the top. My life was simple, at least in my own terms. I live in this place with my siblings. We all call it the boarding. No bye. Forgot. Junks! Is this a map of Lizzy's brain? Stay away. It's a walled-off village occupied by a bunch of kids. Around 300, I'd guess. Oh, something sad. Oh, no. Oh, no! I can't go back! Oh dear. What just happened to my... Oh no. Oopsie. Okay, that's better. I touched the sides and something happened to my my video. I can't go back, so I clicked a button and I went forward instead. Whoopsies. There's a thick fog that surrounds the boarding. It's so thick, we might as well be staring at steel walls. We've never seen anything go beyond it. I never seen anything come from within it. Everyone's curious, but everyone's rooted behind the walls due to the pervasive primal instinct shouting that danger lies beyond. No one dares to get anywhere near that soupy membrane. We all try to live the best we can here. It's a bit cramped in some district, especially in Bricktown and Packrat. There's way too many kids crammed in there. Everyone's got to share a room, not comfortable at all. Now, if you want privacy and space, you have to sacrifice pleasant smells. If you're willing to give up that, you can live in the ship yard, like I do. The ship yard is where all the sewage and other biological waste is disposed of. It smells absolutely terrible, to put it mildly. The name isn't actually the ship yard, but you probably get the idea. I had a decent place, relatively speaking. The paint was flaked and most of the windows were broken, but it only had mild water damage and no leaks in the roof. I also very much loved having my own space to myself. The constant smell of feces and burning trash was worth it for that luxury. Besides, your nose gets blind to it over time and even stays that way as long as you don't go somewhere that's too clean. I worked as a seamstress over in Packrat. If you needed something stitched up or if you ran out of clothes, I was one of the ones you'd turn to. It was hard work and often left my hands calloused and peppered with pinpricks. It barely earned me enough allowance to eat decent meals. I was always tired because I'd work 10-hour shifts all 7 days of the week. It was so incredibly easy to feel like my soul was like a small, pathetic and rotten grape. However, there was one bright spot among all the dread. The Mother Matron. She's the purpose. She's what everyone in the boarding looks up to and works tirelessly to please. She's what you think. She's what you could think about if you needed to be reminded that things would be okay eventually. She's love, kindness, perseverance, and the real source of the boarding's security and strength. Mysterious, ephemeral, and someone so magical that no one had ever seen in person, but oh, what an honor it would be to gaze upon her with our eyes. At least, that's what I believed. I know better now. I wish I didn't, but I do. My journey to that dread knowledge began after an exceedingly tiresome week. I came home like normal, exhausted out of my mind and ready to just chug a Nutra-Shake and pass out. I walked through the doors into my house, my eyes glazing around, as usual until they landed upon my desk. Resting on top of it was a paper envelope with a red wax seal, emblazoned with the matron symbol. Letters from Mother Matron weren't that unusual, but that seal meant business. My heart sank to the bottom of a deep, dark canyon inside me, and bile began to bubble and churn violently in my stomach. I reached to pick up the envelope and I don't know what it was. Oh no! Is there a history? Oh, there is! And bile began. I reached up to pick up the envelope, hoping that this was an illusion, a trick of the light. It wasn't. It was real. As real as can be. The letters with the red wax seal were a common rumor amongst the kids in the boarding. Legend was that it was the absolute most horrible piece of paper you could ever hold in your possession. I undid the seal and removed the letter inside. I unfolded it. My eyes darted back and forth, scanning the page. It read as follows.
My dear child, the very thought of you warms me so. Seeing you and your siblings grow through the years is always my special delight. I give so much of myself every day. Despite my best efforts, however, I cannot do it all myself. Every so often, I must rely on my children to support me and give me the strength to continue protecting the collective. I am not able to leave the boarding, as my departure would lead to a swift invasion and devastation of the place you call home. As terrifying as the thought of sending any of my bright darlings into that darkness is, it's something that must be done if we are to keep the family safe. You want your brothers and sisters and others to be happy and healthy, don't you? I have sent you this letter to inform you that you have been selected, along with 2 others, to help me in my mission to protect the family. You 3 will be venturing outside of the boarding and into the Crepuscule within the week. As to what you will be doing, I cannot elaborate in this letter. You will all have to meet me at my chamber in the monolith. You will be paired with 2 boys, one named Pux and the other named Rich. By the end of the week, you will have to meet with each other, get acquainted, prepare for your venture, and visit me at my dwelling. You must not take longer than this. I will see you soon, my dear. With all the love in the world, your Mother Matron.
Whew. Well, that sounds like gaslighting. These letters make their way around every once in a while. Very few of the participants are still around, and those few left are broken as to barely count as people. They are unable to do anything but mumble incoherently. It's so bad that everyone else has to try to take care of them. Feeding them, giving them water, bathing them, changing their clothes, getting them to the bathroom, all that gross personal hygiene and living stuff. Whatever tasks Mother Matron had revealed to them, it was something that ended in either death or something just shy of it. A dark question hit me in that moment. Which state would I find myself in? We get 5 days off a year without penalty. I rarely ever took these, but after receiving that letter, I used all 5 of them in a row. I was numb and barely pacified, and dumbly pacified beyond words. I may as well have considered my bed a womb with how long I cocooned myself in my scratchy blanket and sheets. The future used to be somewhat definite for me. Endless working, endless stitching, endless exhaustion. Now, a question mark. That mystery was acid on my brain. Thinking about it brought a dull headache, and my thoughts becoming that of an angry buzzing bees swarming around the hive in my skull. At the end of the 5th day of rest, the reality of Mother Matron's deadline crept in. What would happen if I was to disobey her direct request? I feared even more than the depths below. I had to do it. I had to get started now. There was a slight problem, however. I had no idea who Pux or Rich were, let alone where they might be. Part of me hoped they'd have seeked me out first when I was staying home, but I knew that was unlikely. They'd be just as clueless as me. I'd have to find them myself. But where to begin? After some thinking, I decided a good place to start would be by asking my neighbor sisters. They're a pair of twins named Janine and Katie. I'd like to think we were pretty good friends, and I was glad to have them as my neighbors. I approached their front stoop. Katie was reading something with a flashy pink cover while her sister painted her nails with jet black nail polish.
Hey, Katie. Hey, Janine.
Hey, Lizzy.
Hey, Lizzy.
So, I had something to ask you guys.
Does it involve that letter you got?
Oh, you found out about that already?
Sorry for being nosy, but we both saw one of the posters come by. That usually only means one thing.
No doubt my extended hibernation indoors also tipped them off.
Ooh, really sucks to be you.
Janine!
It's true, though. I hope you don't die.
Thanks, I guess.
I'm looking for someone.
Named Pux. Or Rich, maybe? I was told to find them. The two girls tilted their heads, lost in thought.
I don't think I know anyone like that. I'm sorry.
Me neither. I might know someone who does, though.
Really? Any lead is better than anything at this point. Katie looked at her sister, puzzled as to who she could be talking about.
Who?
You know who. That girl whose name starts with an M that talks to everyone.
Katie's eyes light up.
Oh, meeting Marissa.
Wow. That's an odd name.
You'll understand when you meet her.
Where can I find her then?
At the market. They're on the west side, near the edge. Just look for someone selling strange stuff. You'll see.
Okay. Thank you guys for your help.
No problem.
No problem.
The atmosphere was chaotic, as people rushed in and out to buy food and other supplies with their allowance. I felt my senses bombarded by the endless chatter and the myriad of smells, many of which were quite unpleasant. And I lived near a sewer. Through the crowd, I slinked to what I hoped was the west side of the market. I tried to keep my eyes above the crowd to find the mysterious, meaty Marissa character. I started to wonder how I'd lived in the boarding so long and yet had never managed to meet this strange meat girl. As I was about to give up, I finally spotted her and realized how I was able to miss her for so long. The stand was not only really small, but also tucked in a dark little corner of the market that was overshadowed by two bigger stands. At the stand, there was a somewhat short girl with her dark hair in a net. Here's story. With her dark hair in a net while wearing messy overalls. There we go. Compared to the other meat vendors who sold recognizable cuts of chicken, rats, or frogs, meaty Marissa had a table full of odd, unrecognizable meat cut into bizarre alien shapes. The sight of those weird morsels made me want to run away, but before I could do so, the girl shouted at me.
Welcome! Got the finest cuts of meat in this particular tiny portion of the market.
How incredibly specific. My stomach churns in protest as I approach the stand.
My name is Lizzy.
Hi, my name is Lizzy. Are you meeting Marissa? She nodded vigorously at me.
I'm Marissa, and I sell the most unique meat in the market.
I can see that. I've never seen meat look quite like this before.
That's because there's nothing else like it.
What kind is it?
It's whatever sounds tastiest to you.
What? I guess my better judgment. I look closer at the strange meat. I experienced the most confusing sensation at that moment. Simultaneous revulsion and hunger. Despite the meat looking like the last thing I'd ever want to put anywhere near my mouth, my stomach yearned. I asked myself morbidly, should I buy it? Oh no. Oh no. You will have a limited amount of time to make choices in this game. I'm really bad at that. Oh no. Okay, come die with me. The penalty for running out of time will vary on the situation. In some instances, it may be inconsequential, but others, possibly not. Sometimes it may result in instant death. In other times, it may result in Lizzy making an action you do not want. Can I save right here? This feels like a good time to save. I feel like we'll be safe scum in this game. Be wise, alert, and cautious. I wish you good luck. That is so ominous. Actually, you know what? That feels like a good kind of prologue, I guess, for this game. So, what I'm going to do is this is going to be episode 1, the setup. And from here, I will keep recording. Wish me luck. I think I'm going to need it.